Welcome back. Last time we left off with the body, just the little shaping, kind of matched up a little bit better with the side view here. Alright, so we're going to start off on the legs. What we want to do is come up here to mesh, to create. Need a little bit more caffeine. 1 second here. There we go. Can't ever do modeling without your caffeine. Okay, Polygon Primatives, cylinder, option box. This time we're going to do a Z up. We're going to give it 8 axis divisions. Remember, we have 8 edges around each of the holes that we made. Okay, create. And let's go ahead and we're going to start on the front leg. Scale that guy up. Rotate him into position. Scale him out a little bit. Okay, switch to our vertex mode, and let's move some of these guys around here. So just lining them up with the grid line. Don't have to be too precise. This is more just getting a base. We can refine it once we get into Mudbox. And let's start going down the legs. So switch ourselves to face mode. Select a face. And let's come back in here. Whoops. Let's get that matched up in our side view here. There we go. Good. Alright, back to our face mode. Select that bottom face. And we're just going to start extruding, switching to move, getting it down to the next division, and the same thing we did with the body. So we'll do this all in one fell swoop here, and we'll get that down. Oops, and rotate that to the side a little bit. Scale them in. Scale them out. And just hitting G to repeat the command, W to move, R to scale, and scaling them up, moving it into position, and just repeating. E a little bit on this guy. We're getting down to where we want to have a little bit of a arm roll when he moves. Okay, and here's where we get into, we'll make a couple more, hit F, zoom in here. We're going to make a couple of really quick extrusions, really small ones. So 1, 2, and then this last one's going to be where our foot connects, and we're going to do that in a separate video. So move that guy down there. Okay, we want to come back around, take a look at that. And of course we want to just go ahead, switch to our vertice mode, and just move them around here. You'll be matching these up in a little bit. We'll take some time and do that. I'll pause the video and get it kind of all matched up. That'll take you about 15-20 minutes to do each one of those legs, getting it precise. But for the first portion, we just want to get the basic structure and get it sewn onto the body. So in our front view here, let's close out our tool view, get a little better view. Again, edit mesh, we're going to extrude, bring that up there, R, scale them up. This one doesn't really need to be rotated, but again, G to repeat, and we start flaring the arm out here to get that shoulder. Scale them out a little bit. A, W, come in here, E, rotate that side, W, move them up, E, and move them over. Now for this one, F9 will probably do to kind of move these guys onto their grid points. Again, remember we'll be doing a beauty pass as soon as we get this attached before we start on that rear leg. So you always want to do the best to get everything how you want it before you move on to the next limb. And that's what our afternoon work times are for, and our little bit of work times after the lectures. So to get these connected, we are going to go ahead and delete, so switch to face mode, right click, select, delete, and we are going to be doing an append to poly. Now you can see here that this probably needs to be flared out. If we look at our definitely needs to be flared out more. Again, we can do that through selecting edge loops. Just switch to edge mode, double click on that edge loop, hit R, and scale them out. Move that over there. Let's get that guy, and we can see that he's kind of moved in here, so R, scale that out a little bit. This guy's scaled out a little bit more, and so on and so forth. We can see how it's going to match up to the silhouette. But we want to attach this to our guy. So go back to object mode, and right click, just select object mode, select both the creature torso and the creature arm, mesh, combine. Then we're going to go to our edit mesh, append to poly tools, and let's start off on that shoulder. So we want the faces to move down the neck, down the arm. So we're going to attach here. Just hit Y, that completes the command and opens the tool back up. And then we're just going to go around in a clockwise motion. So Y, connect those, oops. Hit enter and control Z when that happens. Just rotate around, hit Y and try it again. There we go. Get down underneath that armpit there. And just a couple more faces to go. Excellent. So now we're going to take a little bit. We're going to move that out. His triceps should come out a little bit more. We're mixing this along, doing more of a combination between a lizard and a dog. So again, any anatomical references that we collected at the beginning of the week for our creature will come in handy at this point. We've got the shoulder bulge on the front working pretty well, and the back, and then we're going to have another come out. This is the elbow, and then comes back into the what on a human would be the forearm muscles. So I'm going to pause here, do a little bit of just selecting the edge loops, scaling, and moving around some of the vertices afterwards. And I'll be right back. Alright, so we've gone ahead, just done a little bit of adjustments there. Okay. Our history is becoming a little bit full, so let's go up to Edit, Delete All by Type History, and go ahead and do a file, save scene as. Let's see here, I was up to Start 2, so I'm just going to overwrite that into Start 3. Okay, we're going to make the back leg the exact same as the front leg. Just start with an 8-sided cylinder and start maybe around this thigh portion. And the bottom of this leg we can actually take care of right now. Let's switch ourselves, hit F11, or you can right click and go to face mode. Select that bottom face on the leg and just delete it. Okay, so we can come up to create, Polygon Primitives, and cylinder option box. Make sure it's still on 8 divisions. Hit create. And let's bring that guy over here and down a little bit. Let's see here. For this one, we do want to rotate around a little bit by about 23 degrees or so. And just scale them out large enough here. And then we're going to take our vertices and just move them kind of into place. Get that thigh started. And let's see here. That one will go there, that one will go down there. And in the front view, let's get that guy settled in. And just around the thigh portion. Okay, again, we're just going to start with our basic form here. So let's start with the top of the leg this time. Do A, W, we're just going to move that up. Scale it a bit thicker this time. Okay, one more time. And definitely rotate that. And we're trying to follow these lines here. So W, oops. E, rotate that in. And if we want to switch to our edge mode, clean up this lower section here. Rotate that up a little bit, just so we're not crossing the streams. We don't want to get those edges crossed out. And this guy, we're going to rotate him around a little bit, move him down, just get him out of the way. Okay, now we're pretty much where we can connect that thigh the same way. And we need to move this face down a little bit here. So I'm going to scale it up. Okay. And hit F8, we're going to pull this leg a little bit further away from the body. There we go. Just until we shape it a little bit. So delete the top face. Same thing as we're going to go to F8, select them both, mesh, combine. And we're going to hit Y. We haven't used anything other than our append to poly tool, but if it makes you feel better, go up to edit mesh, append to poly tool. Okay, and we're going to start the same ways. Just get that going all the way around the body. And it is going to look a little chunky at first. Don't worry about it. That's what the refinement is for. So it's okay for when you are preliminary modeling for it to be a little boxy. You'll have plenty of time to smooth that out. We could even take that into Mudbox right now, do one smooth modifier, and that would smooth itself out. We'll fix it in Maya here before we head on to Mudbox. But we're going to get the same base for the bottom of the leg. Alright, so we're just going to hit our extrude, edit mesh, extrude. W, we're going to bring this down here. E, rotate that a little bit, get him into place. Okay, A again, W, going to bring this guy straight back. E, rotate it. R, let's shrink that down and see what's going on here. Excuse me guys, I have one face that's a little bit weird, so I'm gonna redo that again. Just pulling that down, scaling it a bit. A, hit W, we're just gonna pull back, there we go. R, and then E. Rotate it. R is just to get a little bit straighter, and now we have a little bit easier for us to be getting this silhouette a little bit more on track. Okay, A, W, pull that out, that's the end of our calf. E, rotate that around a little bit. A, okay, so W, doing the same thing that we did for the front of the leg. Just following the silhouette all the way down. And we're going to end right where all these triangles on the foot connect. So that'll be the end of our leg. So just one more extrusion. Push it all the way down. You can hit scale and you can scale into that middle. See how that gets that flat up and down? And then if you hit scale and scale it in, that keeps the, oops, Control Z back there. There we go. Just keeping the form of our leg. It's a little boxy. We definitely want to go ahead and start rounding some of these pieces out. I'm going to pause just for a second and we'll do that. Alright, so just rounding out the hip. See how it looks a little bit smoother coming from the tail down into that rear hip. Got to work on the tricep on the bottom there. We're going to squeeze this calf in a little bit. But that is all through your work time. We're going to cut the video here. When we get back, we'll do his feet, and then we just have to do the head. Then we can combine them and start on UVing and texturing. But the feet will be the next video. See you then.